In Hong Kong, we've just experienced probably the worst typhoon in the last 15 years. It actually went to a Typhoon 10, which is Hurricane Category 4. And during this storm, there was a vessel passing just east of the Nine Pins Island group, which lost 3 containers, 3 40-foot containers overboard. These containers were recovered from the ocean by the Marine Department, one to the north of Lama, one to the south, and one in the West Lama Channel. Of the 3 containers, one was still intact, the other 2, the doors were open. We've been told that they have about 800 sacks still inside, which amounts to 20 tons. But we're still trying to get clarification of exactly how many sacks were in the containers at the time.
The raw form of plastic, and this is what will be sent to the factories and be made into bottles and everything plastic. As they are now, they're not harmful, but the problem is once they get into the sea, they start absorbing all the chemicals. They act like a sponge, so all the pollution, all the pesticides, DDT, all the man-made toxic carcinogenic chemicals that are in the water, they get absorbed into these nurdles, and over time, if they get consumed by the fish, because the chemicals are lipophilic, they want to live in the fat cells of the fish rather than on the plastic, so they do migrate there. And over the course of time, you will get a bioaccumulation effect of these chemicals. They do change colour over time as well. So the darker the pellets, the more toxic they are.
Okay, so these are the pre-production plastic pellets, aka known as nurdles. They look like tiny little beads. They also look remarkably like fish eggs, which is the biggest problem for most of the marine species that are around in the waters here, and even the seabirds. Small fish are going to eat these, and then of course the bigger fish eat those, and the bigger fish eat those, and eventually we eat the bigger fish. So they, as Tracey mentioned, the toxins that these things absorb will be absorbed into the flesh of the fish, and thus if we eat the fish, we absorb those as well. But they're also a big threat to not just the small fish, large fish like whale sharks, filter feeders, whale sharks, manta rays, mobula rays, and also of course the whales. I mean the baleen whales, the great whales, they eat krill, which is not much bigger than these, or not much smaller actually, but the big large great whales will actually start absorbing these, and they are being absorbed throughout the different world's oceans. We don't have too many whales here, but only last month we had a whale shark sighted off of the south of Lama, which is where one of the containers was found. So they are present in the waters here, and unfortunately they're going to start filtering this up before we do.
I've just come back from the Algalita 5 Gyres tsunami debris expedition sailing from Tokyo to Hawaii, where we looked at the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, all the plastics that have accumulated there as well. And in every trawl sample we found plastics, and in every trawl sample we found these nurdles. So these are already in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, and this is something that we need to stop here before it becomes even more of an impact out there. I mean, this is a huge deal. We've got billions of these pellets now lining the beaches, and unless we can get them off the beaches, they're all going to end up in the sea as well. The founder of the Algalita Marine Research Foundation, Captain Charles Moore, he was contacted the other day and sent photographs, and he said that this was actually the worst pellet spill that he's seen photographed. So it is a really big deal for Hong Kong. It's a really big deal for the whole marine ecosystem as well. So we're here at Shap Long. It's quite a remote beach on Lantau Island. We heard reports yesterday from the FEHD that there was a 1 to 2 foot pellet track all along the beach on the tide line. So we came down first thing this morning, and unfortunately what we found a significant amount of pellets mixed in with all the typhoon debris, but from the reports yesterday I think a lot of them have already washed back into the sea, which is really unfortunate.
So these are the sacks that we're actually looking for. If you do go down to the local beach, this is the main. These are the sacks of death, as we've sort of dubbed them now. White polythene bags. They are marked at the moment, but they are fading very fast. A lot of them are already blank. They have the Sinopec brand logo on them, which is unfortunate for Sinopec. Saying that, they have been very responsible. They have been down. We had an emergency meeting about it. They're very concerned and they're offering all the assistance they can. Also down the side, this one's already started to fade a lot. There is actually a batch number, which is the way that Sinopec are actually helping us to track the batch and the shipment, so we know who the owners were when it was actually lost over the side. Every single one of these bags that we pull out the ocean, there's 1 million pellets plus in these bags, so every single bag saves thousands of marine species, so every bag counts at this point.
What we need people to do is to go down the beach and get these off the beach. This is an immediate priority. Just go down, dustpan and brush, sweep them off the sand while they're still sitting on the top before they get into the water. They're all mixed in with a lot of the typhoon debris as well, so if you can bring down some garbage bags, even just do as much as you can, half an hour, everything makes a big difference.